on this item? Yeah, come forward. We'll need your name and address.
My name's Jeff Fenner. I'm with the Police Officers Union.
The Plymouth Township Police Officers Union?
Police Officers Union.
You're a police officer for Plymouth Township?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I just wanted to come. We wanted to come here today just to say we talked to everybody yesterday, and every single police officer is against this.
Okay. I just want to add that is not what our email exchanges with your union president indicate today. I don't know when you had this vote. I don't know what information you had.
I just talked to him.
Pardon me?
Excuse me,
I just talked to him before the meeting.
Okay.
I did speak to the union president just before the meeting. He wasn't able to come here. He did want to communicate that to the board, and that's why Officer Feder is here tonight.
All right. Well, thank you for that information. But we have to act in the best interest of all the employees. And as
Okay. We just wanted to make our voice known, I guess.
Okay.
I'd like to know a little bit why.
You know,
Why?
I think they had some visits from the deputy clerk over the last couple of days.
no, honest to God, we haven't talked to anybody. I mean, this was we put the information out there to the people in an email. We can send you the emails, and they responded back that they did not want to do it. They're happy, I guess, where they are.
All right.
The money that's being invested, how it's being invested now, they're happy.
Okay. I've seen the emails between Mr. Waugh and your union president,
Okay.
and the questions have been asked and answered. And in any other
several concerns have been. Absolutely.
yes, and in any other public sector employment situation, the employer would never, you would not even know that something like this is happening. We have given your union representatives every opportunity to participate and learn in this process.
Absolutely. It's 100% your discretion. We understand that, but we understand that maybe we have a voice too, and you guys are obviously going to make the final decision, but we just want to make sure our voice is.
Could we hear what your concerns are?
I mean, I haven't talked to every member, but for the most part, everybody's very happy with where they are right now.
All right. Thank you.
One thing is, younger guys like you will benefit by this long term. And I know it's...
Absolutely. And again, it could be that some people that voted no maybe could be ill-informed. I don't know. I haven't talked to everybody.
Okay. Well,
You're bringing us the facts.
we're real
Absolutely.
late in the game here.
Sometimes you have lower fees,
Absolutely.
but if you have lower returns, then those offset the lower fees.
Right, but the data probably doesn't support that with the flex you have.
That's right.
Not only the MERS funds, which are ETFs and Target, and then if you really want to be sporting and if you're smooth, you can go to the brokerage fund and buy Vanguard if you want.
You could buy Bitcoin.
Yes.
We also had discussions with your union representatives during the negotiations last year at the table where we described the fact that we wanted to go to MERS.
Yeah, I honestly can't speak to that because I wasn't there. He just sent me here today,
Yeah,
and we
okay.
discussed it. So what you
I
had
got
talked with Jason, I don't know.
So
Okay.
just to make, so I'm clear, you're speaking on behalf of, you don't have any concerns specifically yourself.
Specifically myself, no, because I'm not here to speak specifically to myself, only the group as a whole of the vote that our union president took yesterday. That's it.
And how many people in that group?
How many people? How many police officers?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense of a number. When Jason pulled the group, was it 3? Was it 5? Was it 20?
I want to say it was almost everybody, but we did not talk to command officers. This is not sergeants. This is not lieutenant. This is just the bottom police officers at the bottom.
Okay.
So it might be 25 people, 20 to 25.
Well, every one would be important still, but what I'm kind of sensing is we are okay the way it is today.
We're okay with the way it is. I'm not saying that it can't change. I'm saying that maybe the people at the bottom could be misinformed, ill-informed. I don't know.
Well,
But when we
uninformed.
talked to the people and we gave them the facts that we had,
Well, and that's
almost all of them came back at the bottom and
well.
said, we're happy where we are, leave us alone.
Okay, I don't know what facts they had or didn't have, so thank you. Thank you anyway.
But I'm glad to hear, that's part of the communication. So I'm glad you came to tell us.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, it's at the 11.5 hours.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay.
Well, I would like to make a comment. I am 100% in favor of this. I've had discussions with a number of the police officers, And I've expressed my opinion on how basically they have been screwed over the last 20 years in their current system. They've been the funds have been underperforming with relation to the market. They've been overcharged with respect to the funds. They would be much better off had they been in this MERS system for the last 5, 10, 20 years. I've tried to express the fact that I strongly believe that this is a better system for them. Having said that, right, they voted that they didn't want to move. This has nothing to do with the township. This has everything to do with the employees. Even though I disagree with their opinion and their vote, I have to respect it. So I'm going to vote no for this unless we can agree that we can give them more education, because I still think this is the right thing to do, and I still think we can turn them. But I don't feel comfortable saying to 20 police officers, you don't know what you're talking about. We're going to change it against your wishes.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board?
Well, yes. So are you going to vote against all the resolutions and
My
therefore...
recommendation would be to postpone this and give it some more time.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will not support that, and I'm very disappointed that you would suggest something like that, Mark. We have been debating this issue. We have been discussing this issue with our employees since we came into this office.
And this is, at the end of the day, this is a benefit for the employees. And if they don't want to move, I think we ought to make sure that they understand the reasons why they should move and give them another opportunity.
No, I'm sorry, Mark. With all due respect, we have had multiple meetings with the employee union heads. These are unionized employees. We have met with the non-union employees. This has been going on for over a year in terms of meetings. None of these meetings were necessary. They're not required. Any other public sector employment situation
Or private.
or private, we would be doing this unilaterally with no input whatsoever. I believe for anybody to come here at the 0 hour and try to delay this for another God knows how long because they need more information is it's overkill. Sorry.
I don't know how you could provide more convincing information. It's just really difficult because you're predicting the future. It's a compounding. You're trying to figure out what's happening with the market over the next 25 or 30 years. And we all know that fees do have a significant effect. So that's why I say the younger guys should really like this. Now, I know that the people who are nearing retirement are very apprehensive. Although many of these financial advisors, they're putting on expensive dinners at Fleming's and things like that. People are moving their money to them after they've retired or just before they're retired to manage it. So,
Mr. Waugh, do you have any other comments at this point?
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, I can share the two objections that were provided with me today that I think might help shed some light for the rest of you board members who may or may not have gotten through the smorgasbord of emails that went around today. Jason had specifically mentioned to me concerns...
Jason Hayes is the
Yes.
POAM president.
Correct. Jason Hayes specifically mentioned to me concerns about the ability for participants to be able to withdraw money from the deferred compensation plan, which is the nationwide plan, prior to age 59 and a half without penalty. There was some misinformation that somehow they ended up with that MERS did not permit that. That is 100% inaccurate. Once any employee separates from employment, the 457 contributions that were made on a pre-tax basis are 100% theirs to do with what they wish. The only exception to that would be Roth 457 contributions, which to my knowledge are not currently permitted within the plan, but will be or may be allowed moving forward.
you mean you don't have a Roth 457 today?
I do not believe you do, correct. So that was like, oh, I didn't know that. So when the vote was taken, that was one of the major issues.
Excuse me, I
to my
I just need to clarify that because Mark Clinton and I spent a great deal of time today with Jason Hayes. After you sent that email and clarified that, we said, fine, so you have no problem going forward. And he said, no, this problem with the age came up today. This is before they took the vote.
Okay.
So he said this had nothing to do. He said we didn't even know that until this morning when somebody started this rumor. He said, when we took the vote a couple days ago, that wasn't even an issue. I just want to clarify that for the board. There's a lot of uncertainty. I think the officers would be better served to do this, but I don't think they fully understand it.
The union leadership has
haven't
been
been
invited, was invited to every single meeting that we had. They
I agree
attended
with you.
some, they didn't attend others.
I agree.
And we have to respect the chain of command within the union leadership. I cannot open up town hall meetings every other day for people who want, 20, who have 20 more questions. I think we need to call the question and get moving on this.
Well, I think if it's a good idea now, I think it'll be a good
No,
idea in
it's
30 days. So
no,
I would
sorry.
like to make a motion that we postpone this until we get more information for the police officers and then make a decision at that point.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to postpone for how long?
30 days.
Okay.
So can we have some discussion on that?
Absolutely.
So in 28 days, when nobody's done anything, and they come back and say, I'm still ill-informed,
Then we'll vote again.
to put it 30 more days back and 30 more days?
It's
We're
been-
helping the employees by doing this.
It's been 2 years. It's been 2
And,
years.
You know, that,
It was really longer than
This is
that.
a
We
this is a
started
last-ditch
talking about-
attempt to derail this program because of the politics in this building that surrounds it, and I don't understand it for the life of me. We are doing the best in the best interest of the employees. You are saving money. You have as a flexible or
Yeah, but
more than flexible plan than what you have now.
If they have, I mean, I'm not going to go against the cops. And if they haven't been convinced, then something in the messaging is not getting through.
but we saw in the presentation that everything, fees, returns, everything is in their favor,
Something's not getting through.
Oh, Bob,
or
come on.
somebody is.
Messaging.
Bob, let's, you haven't been in any of these meetings. You have not been part of any of these discussions that we've had with the unions, with the employees, all of the internal meetings that we've had with the employee labor union leadership. It's been unprecedented, unprecedented. It's no good deed goes unpunished, I guess. So it's time to act, and we have to stop the delays. The delays are completely unnecessary, and this is being ginned up for political reasons because somebody doesn't like MERS or somebody's in love with John Hancock, and I can't figure it out.
I find
many
it
days
difficult
is
to believe that somebody would put their own financial future at stake because of some silly little political score.
These are my benefits too, and I'm wholeheartedly
Just put
interested in
the-
going with MERS.
Just lack of understanding.
That
I have a question
hasn't been
for-
sold to them. They have,
I have something for MERS. Is there a minimum number of days that it takes to implement the changeover? For example, is it 30 days from the time you get kicked off? Does it matter what time of the year it is? That kind of a thing.
There's not a minimum number of days. It's really, the speed at which we can go for initial enrollment. We usually do kind of a, excuse me, like a two-pronged approach. So we would do an initial enrollment prior to the first of the year, if that was the intended initial target date was January 2020 to have the plan effective. Each provider has their own kind of timeline as to when they are able to or willing to transfer assets at that time frame. Usually is about 90 days. Nationwide is about 120. So you're looking at a 4-month window between adoption and implementation.
Okay, there's the number. 4 months.
Yep.
So my question to you, Mr. Treasurer, would be why not carve out the police officers? Why hold the whole thing up because other employees are willing to go with it?
Because we'd have multiple plans, and in case, it's just, we have,
Administrative nightmare.
yeah.
Long term if we didn't make a change. But for now, if you carve the police officers, patrol officers out and gave them time to be further educated, you can come back and add them in 30 days. That's kind of the flip side to what you're proposing.
I'm not certain that Nationwide will allow you to carve them out and send over a portion of the employees.
No,
I
it's
believe
all-
this is either
happening.
all or-
It's
all
not
or-
happening
either
in
all or
30
nothing.
days.
All or
That's my
nothing.
point.
This is all or nothing.
Yeah. The alternative
So-
would be to ask everybody to individually transfer their money over, which if you want to talk about an individual or an administrative burden, that's a major mess.
Yeah,
I don't think you want to go down that path.
that's just something bound to
Plus,
go
the
wrong.
retirees
Oh, yeah,
won't have the
absolutely.
ability to choose. They're going to be stuck where they're at. So, you're still fiduciary for the retirees and former employees as well.
I'm miffed that doing the right thing, people are suspicious of. They think the township is making money on this, or
Yeah,
elected officials are making money. That's not the case.
that's the part. And
That
Well,
shows.
Chuck, that's my point, is that this program is for the employees. The 457 program is money we've taken out of their paychecks and invested on their behalf. And if they're not comfortable yet with the decision, then I'm not comfortable moving forward.
My judgment is they probably won't ever be comfortable with the change.
Yeah.
Because change is difficult, but this change is for their benefit.
In your opinion and in my opinion, they would benefit
for me,
from
it's
it.
more than opinion. We're data driven. It's data.
Okay.
So Mark, let me take your argument. So what happens if we have 9 bargaining units in the township? We have 6. We have 6 bargaining units. So if the Patrol Officers Association of Michigan takes a vote at some point and says, we just want to keep it the way it is, then the whole thing will collapse. You're aware of that. Because we are not having carve-outs. We are not going to re-examine this issue for another year. We're not going to open the door for everybody now to come up with another 20 questions and bog this down again. I mean, we've got to call the question here at this point.
Well,
make
we've
a
got a
decision.
motion and a second.
No, I'm just saying. I'm using that in the.
The motion is to table, correct?
The motion is to table. It's been motioned and seconded.
Not
We're
table,
having-
postpone.
No, postpone, not table.
Postpone.
We're having discussion.
Postpone for 30 days.
We're having discussion.
What
on
happens?
this.
So what happens during that 30 days? Are we going to have a universal vote of all the employees? Are we going to bring Mr. Are we going to bring MERS back again?
And if one person says no, we're going to just walk
Obviously,
away.
you haven't done a good job selling it.
Mark, Bob, I'm insulted by that. I really
Well,
am.
you're
You
the
know,
smart
maybe
guy
you
in
should,
the room here,
maybe you
sir.
should
You
maybe
figure
show up
it
at
out.
Township Hall once in a while and do your job. You know, you'd find out there's a lot going on here.
Well,
We've had a hell of a lot of meetings. No, I'm insulted by that. We've had a hell of a lot of meetings with the employees, meetings that we didn't even have to have. Meetings that we didn't have to have. When I worked for the state of Michigan, my retirement plan was switched twice. All I got was a letter in the mail, okay? So we have been over backwards for the employees. It's unprecedented. And, you know, and for the POAM, you were invited to all the meetings, your union representatives, who we have to deal with, because these are terms and conditions of employment. They were at most of those meetings, but they weren't at all of them. Not everybody attended, okay? What do you want me to do? Hold a meeting at 3 a.m. so we can have the night shift on there? It's absurd. We are at the point of absurdity on this issue.
And one thing we keep
We're going to keep
overlooking
going
is
around and around and around and around. You know,
MERS becomes a fiduciary here. Right now, it's seven of us sitting up here as fiduciaries for all these
but
funds right now.
technically, you're protected by John Hancock and Nationwide.
Technically, you are.
They're not going to sue Chuck Kermy because.
But if
they
one of
lost
these
their
guys,
bucks.
the
Well, Mr.
stock
Waugh?
market goes down,
Mr. Waugh, do you have something to say on that?
The employer is actually the fiduciary for the plan. John Hancock is purely a provider for you.
Exactly.
So it's the fiduciary responsibility.
So
for
they
the
might
board.
want to sue me if they lost $1 million of the bad investment.
They could file a suit for charging excessive fees over a long period of time, yeah.
Well, that's happened before. Other
Yes.
employee groups have done that. Not here, but in other areas, other
The POAM could do that. The International Firefighters Union could do it. So the firefighters, they want to go to MERS. So how come, you know, do they get a vote now too, or are we just going to do this because one bargaining unit has got bum information and they're not happy at 9:35 at night? I think it's time to call the question, folks. So
Okay, so what are you going to vote on?
Well, I guess
so what's the motion?
I could
The
see-
motion was that we postpone for 30 days, was that it?
What happens during that 30 days? I'm intrigued.
Well, I think we could do a couple things. We could give the POAM more education, give them more time to digest this to see if this is the right decision. And to be honest, I don't think it's a problem to go to a complete vote of the employees. At the end of the day, everybody should have a say in how their money is treated. It's not a board decision. It's an
Whoa.
employee decision what we do with their money.
No, not true. It's a board decision.
Why?
It's upside down. Because we are the current fiduciary,
exactly.
and we determine the employee benefits level, not the employees.
How their money is invested?
We're not talking about, no. We're not deciding how it's going to be invested. They can decide. completely. In fact, I'd make the case that if someone picks the brokerage option, they have more opportunity to select. They could buy a triple inverse ETF on the S&P 500 in their brokerage account,
How is that?
right?
We're not arguing,
Bitcoin.
at least I'm not arguing that this is the right thing to do. In my opinion, this is 100% the right thing to do.
Kevin's right.
What I am arguing is if it's a good idea now, it'll be a good idea in a month to get everybody on board, and then we don't have to deal with the fallout of the biggest union that we have being against moving over to this plan.
But I think what will happen is, like what you
Are
proposed.
they going to
have
sue
an
us? Are they going to sue us?
employee, vote. This will spin out of control into a chaotic thing. I tried to get people to start thinking about this when Richard Rayum was in office, and no one would even consider it, and you'd have to wonder why, because it didn't make sense.
Because
It
most
ma-
people
makes
get,
sense to do something.
most people that manage their own broker accounts get clobbered.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
You're conflating issues.
Yeah.
let me just say, I could see delaying this 2 weeks and voting on it on the 24th, and have 2 weeks to have further discussions with the police officers. A lot of respect for them, cops on the street. 30 days seems long, and what you're not factoring in is the other employees seem 100% comfortable with this. So why delay it? Because one unit of employees is fine with the way things are. So I could see 2 weeks to come back and put it on the agenda and vote, and hopefully there's been education in the meantime. But 30 days doesn't seem like it's appropriate for the other employees.
Mr. Waugh, any other comments on that?
I have just something food for thought suggestion. There's 3 plans you were choosing to make a decision on, or that were on the agenda tonight. The defined contribution plan with John Hancock, to my knowledge, does not have any public safety officers in it. And the ICMA is a retiree health savings that we've explained significant differences on. Those are perhaps 2 items you
Say
can
again, the
decide on.
ICMA has what?
Has the retiree health savings account, the post-employment health care account, in which they have every employee gets a primary and contingent beneficiary beyond spouse and dependents. Those are 2 decisions that are not being disputed at this point. I believe the only concerns with the nationwide 457 account. So, it may be 2 items you can act on today. If you want to wait 2 weeks, again, that's entirely up to the board.
Jack, do you know that for a fact that they're the only employees that have had a challenge with it? Do you know, Chuck?
Well, what do you mean by that? I don't understand
Well,
your
you said
question.
that
This is
only
their
that-
opportunity to come speak, and one has come and said, we're fine the way things are. Everybody else has not shown up. They were here. They were part of the study session, and I haven't gotten any emails. I have no voicemails, no phone calls from. Oh, here we go. Here's the phone call. So that's what I'm saying.
John.
Silence to me is golden, and it makes, it's profound.
Okay.
If all 6 groups were here tonight saying we were not comfortable with this, that'd be a different scenario totally. So you're saying we could go ahead with 2 of these 6 resolutions?
There are 3 plans. There's the defined contribution, which is the 401A. That's a John Hancock. There is the nationwide 457. That is the one that I believe is at issue. And then there's the ICMA retiree health savings plan that would be transferring over to MERS as well. So there's 3 separate plans. All 3 were on the agenda for discussion to transfer. If there's only one objection, perhaps we move forward with those 2 and I guess wait 2 weeks.
But only
to talk about
POAM members are nationwide. They're not in the other 2 plans, I think is what.
Say again?
Only the POAM members are in nationwide. They're not in the other 2 plans.
Okay.
Correct?
I believe this should be an all or nothing approach. I don't want to do this piecemeal.
We got to keep it simple with no mistakes.
I do not believe in doing this haphazardly. I think these should be done all at once or not at all. And if it's not at all, I go to sleep very well tonight. You know why? Because I've done my due diligence for the taxpayers of Plymouth Township, and more importantly, in this case, for the employees. And I believe that these plans that have been researched thoroughly and have been shared thoroughly with the employees in this town are the best plans for them. It represents the best value, and it's going to put more money in their pocket when they go to retire. And I'm urging a no vote on this motion, and I'm urging
Motion to postpone.
on this motion to postpone, and I'm urging a yes vote on all of these resolutions tonight because we have done our homework. We have done right by the employees, and they deserve this, and they deserve us to do the right thing and stop dilly-dallying for another year, 2 years, or whatever it's going to be.
Color vote.
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to go on record that say that the firefighters union has been asking for the township to do this since our previous contract.
I know.
So this has been going on for a long time. And this is something that we feel very strongly for, just because of the fee costs of Nationwide is ridiculous.
Because you've done your homework and you know that you get a better deal with MERS.
I
Okay.
agree. Thank you.
All right. We have a motion on the table. I would like the clerk to take a vote.
Well, we have the motion restated so we understand completely what it is.
The motion is to postpone for 30 days.
Do you want to change it to 14?
It has to be a friendly.
No, they have to amend it. Is that Mark? You want to amend it? You want to
Yeah.
make it 14 days?
Yeah, I will amend the motion to postpone for 14 days.
14 days. Or until the 24th, until September 24th.
September 24th meeting,
September 24th?
Correct.
township meeting.
The September 24th meeting. Is there a second on that?
Second.
Bob already did it.
Okay, well, it's been
Oh,
amended.
second on the
amended.
amendment.
Second on the amendment. Okay. Okay, so we have the motion on there to postpone for September 24th meeting, made by Clinton, second by Dorshevitz. And I'm going to call the roll. Treasurer Clinton,
Yes.
Trustee Kermy,
No.
Trustee Dempsey,
Yes.
Trustee Dorshevitz,
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey,
No.
Trustee Heitman,
No.
Clerk Borba, no. Motion does not carry.
Thank you. So for tonight's votes on these items, we have 6 different motions or resolutions that we need to adopt. Given the discussion that we have just had, I would recommend that we do roll call votes on each one of these. It was not my original intent, but I believe we do need to now. I would like to expedite this as much as possible, so I would like the board members to pay close attention to these resolutions as they are read off, and I would request that the clerk take a roll call on each one, and obviously we're going to have to move it along just to, for sake of time. So we now have the first resolution, which is 2019-09-1081. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Supervisor.
Mr. Clerk.
I move to adopt resolution number 2019-09-1081 to approve the MERS Defined Contribution Plan, adopt an agreement, and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign any required documents to effectuate the implementation of the plan.
Motion is made by Clerk Borba. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee
I have a
Heitman.
question. Is this the plan that police officers are in or no? That you spoke of?
It
Well, this is
doesn't
the general idea.
This is the 401A.
The
Yeah.
457 is basically the one that's in this.
The next two.
BOAM.
The next one,
Well,
82.
This is the idea of moving it.
Mr. Waugh, you want to come forward on these?
Which one is which?
The MERS Defined Contribution Plan Adoption Agreement is what?
That is the John Hancock 401A plan, the defined
Thank you.
contribution.
You may just want to stay up there just to
You got
brief
it.
us if necessary. Does that satisfy your question? Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Heitman,
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Trustee Dorshevitz.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Which one is this?
The
John
first
Hancock.
one.
John Hancock.
401A defined contribution plan. This is the account that the township contributes to the retirement plan.
The DC plan.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
So policemen contribute to this, right?
No.
No,
no.
the policemen are in a MERS defined contribution plan, interestingly enough.
Okay, I'll vote yes on this.
Trustee Dempsey.
Yes.
Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Clinton.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution number 2 is Resolution 2019-09-1082. Is there a motion?
Mr. Supervisor.
Mr. Clerk?
I move to adopt resolution 2019-09-1082 to approve the MERS Uniform 457 Supplemental Retirement Program Resolution and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign any required documents to effectuate the implementation of this plan.
Motion's made by Clerk Vorba. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Heitman. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Okay, does he want to say what this is? or-
If we don't have a question, then we
Okay.
can proceed.
Okay.
Okay, so which one
Nationwide.
is this?
Okay,
The
Bob has a
nationwide.
question.
This is the nationwide 457.
457.
Okay.
And what's the difference between Resolution 82 and 83? That's supplemental versus the participants agreement.
401A is the defined contribution plan, which is the actual retirement plan that is tied to a retirement age. A 457 is a voluntary plan in which.
No, I'm sorry, there's two different
Supplemental
resolutions.
versus
One is
sorry.
participation.
supplemental.
Supplemental versus
The,
participation.
res-
82 and
the resolution adopts the 457 plan. The participation agreement would outline the provisions of the plan, such as Roth loans, et cetera.
This is the one, the POA, correct?
That's correct.
Motion has been made and seconded. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Heitman,
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Trustee Dorshevitz,
I support the police, no.
Please.
Trustee Dempsey,
No.
Trustee Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Clinton,
No.
Clerk Borba, yes. Motion carries.
And I support the police, too. I
Yeah,
like
and the
comment.
Academy Awards is not for a few
Yeah.
more months, Bob.
let's go.
Resolution 3 is 2019-09-1083.
I move to adopt Resolution 2019-09-1083 to approve the MERS 457 participation agreement and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign any required documents to effectuate the implementation of the plan.
Motion's made by Clerk Vorba. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Heitman. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Trustee Dorshevitz,
I support the police, no.
Unbelievable.
and Trustee Dempsey.
So 82's already been approved. And this is the implementation of 82.
Got it moved,
Yes.
Trustee Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Clinton,
No.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Heitman,
I support the police, yes.
motion carries.
All right. Item 4, Resolution 4 is Resolution 2019-09-1084. Is there a motion?
Mr. Supervisor,
Mr. Clerk?
I move to adopt Resolution 2019-09-1084 to approve the MERS Healthcare Savings Program Uniform Resolution and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign any required documents to effectuate its implementation.
Motion's made by Clerk Vorba. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Heitman.
So is there, I have a question. So is this a program that, the plan that police officers are in or no?
Healthcare
I
savings.
don't believe so unless, I'm not sure if the township has eliminated retiree health care for all employees or if public safety is still eligible for it. They're not in it, so
You're not in it.
thank you.
Ready to take the roll?
Mr.
Yes.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Dorshevitz,
no. Excuse me.
Trustee Dempsey,
Yes.
Trustee Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Clinton,
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Heitman,
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution number 5 is Resolution 2019-09-1085. Is there a motion?
Mr. Supervisor,
Mr. Heitman?
I move to adopt Resolution 2019-9-10-85 to approve the MERS Healthcare Savings Program Participation Agreement and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign any required documents to effectuate its implementation.
Motion's been made by Trustee Heitman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Clerk Vorba. Any questions? Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Dempsey,
Yes.
Trustee Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Clinton,
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Heitman,
Yes.
Supervisor Heisey.
Yes.
Trustee Dorshevitz.
Yeah,
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next is Resolution number 6. This is Resolution 2019-09-1086. Is there a motion?
Mr. Supervisor,
Mr. Heitman?
I move to adopt Resolution 2019-9-10-86, establishing authorized signatories for MERS contracts and service credit purchase approvals, and authorize the supervisor and clerk to sign any required documents to effectuate its implementation.
Motion's made by Trustee Heitman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Clerk Vorba.
So what is this doing?
This resolution is just the board appointing individuals who are authorized to sign the paperwork necessary for entering into agreements with MERS.
Kurt, do I have your word that you're going to make sure that loans and in-service is on the check, is authorized?
I have made that promise in writing already to the head of the TPOAM union. That's one of the main reasons why she's not here tonight, because she got all of her questions answered, and she had a lot of them, and we got it done to her satisfaction.
I agree, Chuck.
So yes, Chuck.
All right.
Trustee Kermy.
Yes.
Treasurer Clinton.
Yes.
Clerk Borba, yes. Trustee Heitman.
Yes.
Supervisor Heisler.
Yes.
Trustee Dorshevitz.
Yes.
Trustee Dempsey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank
So
you.
if the last one failed, doesn't matter, it would nullify all the previous.
That's true.
We have a lot of blank
Thank you,
documents.
Mr.
I
Walker.
wasn't going to tell you that, so anyway. Okay, thank you very much. Safe travels, wherever you're from. All right, next up is the draft 2020 township budget. I know the